Welcome back to Daily AI News at Let's Data Science. It's 2026-05-24. Today, we're diving into some pivotal developments from the future of machine intelligence to major product launches. Let's get to it. We begin with what several outlets are calling a defining moment for the AI industry's financial maturation. According to reporting from the New York Times, the Wall Street Journal, CNBC, and Business Insider, a cluster of events between May 20th and May 24th has pushed AI from hype toward large-scale public market validation. At the center is SpaceX, which filed a public S1 prospectus showing $18.7 billion in revenue for 2025 and $4.7 billion in revenue in the first quarter of 2026. However, those revenues are paired with substantial losses: $4.9 billion in net losses for 2025 and $4.3 billion in Q1 2026. The S1 also describes an estimated actionable total addressable market of $28.5 trillion. CNBC and other market reporting suggests SpaceX could target roughly $75 billion in IPO proceeds, positioning it as one of the most significant offerings of the decade. At the same time, the Wall Street Journal reports that OpenAI is preparing to file for its own IPO, potentially within weeks. Anthropic, led by Dario Amodei, is also reported by CNBC and Buildfast with AI to have surged to $10.9 billion in revenue and achieved its first-ever profit, although practitioners will want to watch for audited confirmations in formal filings. And then there's NVIDIA. CNBC reports that NVIDIA's data center revenue nearly doubled year over year, reinforcing that demand for GPUs remains structurally high even as investors rotate capital into prospective mega IPOs. Taken together, these developments represent a coordinated validation signal. Public filings like SpaceX's S1 and earnings prints from NVIDIA are the raw inputs investors use to reprice entire ecosystems. When data center revenue doubles and frontier AI labs move toward public listings, procurement cycles, chip supply agreements, and capital allocation strategies shift across the stack. For practitioners, the practical implications are immediate. Strong NVIDIA data center revenue suggests continued pressure on accelerator supply. Large IPOs from OpenAI and potentially Anthropic will intensify scrutiny on cost per inference, serving latency and margin structure. As these firms enter public markets, metrics that were once internal, unit economics, utilization rates, inference efficiency, become headline material. Watch the SpaceX S1 for governance provisions and share class structures, as highlighted by the New York Times. Watch OpenAI's forthcoming filing for capitalization details, lockups, and disclosures that clarify margin profiles. And monitor NVIDIA's forward guidance for signals about GPU supply elasticity. For ML teams building production systems, this is not abstract finance. It is capacity planning. Next, we turn to a major product rollout from Google. Google has officially launched Gemini Omni Flash into the Gemini app, Google Flow, and YouTube Shorts. According to Google's blog and product documentation on Gemini Google, Gemini Omni Flash is the first model in the Omni family, designed as a natively multimodal system capable of ingesting text, images, audio, and video inputs, and performing conversational, multi-turn video editing. Coverage from The Verge and CNET highlights improvements in character consistency and world reasoning compared with earlier video systems such as Veo. Google demos show background swaps, lighting adjustments, adding or removing characters, and iterative edits where each prompt builds on previous state, without traditional timeline-based editing. Importantly, Nokia Power User reports that Google Flow now includes a daily free tier, with the original description noting 2 free clips per day. Lowering the cost of experimentation materially reduces friction for creators and small teams. From a technical perspective, Google and DeepMind frame Gemini Omni as combining a reasoning engine, a video rendering backbone, and a simulation layer to maintain temporal coherence. That architecture signals a continued collapse of the multimodal stack: text to image, image to video to video, and audio generation increasingly unified under a single reasoning system. For practitioners, the shift is architectural. As conversational interfaces replace timeline controls, engineering effort moves toward prompt state management, safety filters, provenance mechanisms, and iterative UX design. The Verge also flags misuse concerns, reinforcing that watermarking and moderation pipelines must scale alongside capability. Now, another major theme: the operationalization of AI agents inside enterprises. OpenAI's ChatGPT agent, launched on July 17, 2025, represents one model of agentic deployment. According to OpenAI's announcement, the ChatGPT agent can interact with websites, run code, request user permission before consequential actions, and generate artifacts like slides and spreadsheets. LangChain provides another critical layer. Its platform, Langsmith, offers tracing, evaluation, and a distributed runtime for agent fleets. Observability is no longer optional. It is becoming first-class infrastructure. Anthropic has introduced a composable mechanism called Skills, documented in its engineering blog. Skills package procedures and metadata using skill.md files, allowing agents to load capabilities dynamically. Meanwhile, Oracle's 23 real-world AI agent use cases catalog demonstrates enterprise deployment patterns across recruiting, scheduling, sales research, and equipment maintenance. Gartner projects that 40% of enterprise applications will include task-specific AI agents by 2026. That forecast reframes agents from experimental prototypes to near-term platform components. Across OpenAI, LangChain, and Anthropic, we see converging patterns: web and UI interaction tooling, long-form reasoning, execution primitives like code and file system access, and embedded evaluation systems. Durable memory, checkpointing, interruptibility, and human-in-the-loop review are standard requirements. For technical leaders, the takeaway is clear. If you are deploying agents, prioritize end-to-end tracing, explicit tool interfaces, reproducible evaluation pipelines, and modular packaging of domain knowledge. Agentic systems are transitioning from demos to audited infrastructure. Finally, in our top stories, a governance chapter at OpenAI has closed, at least procedurally. In the high-profile federal trial between Elon Musk and Sam Altman, coverage from the Associated Press, The Verge, and The Wall Street Journal reports that the jury dismissed Musk's claims that OpenAI abandoned its nonprofit mission in favor of commercial pursuits, citing the statute of limitations. The case revisited OpenAI's 2015 founding and its evolution into a company reported by the AP to have an $852 billion valuation. Witnesses included Sam Altman, Greg Brockman, Elon Musk, and Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella. The jury's finding that the case was time-barred means there was no merits ruling that reshapes corporate governance norms. For practitioners, this leaves intact the prevailing capital-intensive model of frontier AI development. The deeper question, how nonprofit origins interact with commercial scaling, remains open, but unresolved in court. Now, for a few other key updates in our lightning round. The National Investigation Agency in India filed a 7,500-page charge sheet in the Red Fort vehicle-borne IED blast case, according to Daily Excelsior and Times Now. The charge sheet reportedly names ChatGPT, YouTube, and commercially available materials as alleged information sources used by accused conspirators. The November 10, 2025 blast resulted in 11 deaths. For security practitioners, this underscores the challenge of tracing digital research pathways and reinforcing model output safeguards. In South Korea, KAIST and Gangnam Severance Hospital presented an LLM-based psychiatric intake assistant at ACM Chai 2026. According to Seoul Economic Daily and Chosun, the system was evaluated using 1,440 virtual patient interactions and generates a clinical dashboard summarizing symptoms and potential disorders. Real-world clinical validation and safety guardrails will be critical next steps. Dhaka Metropolitan Police has activated an AI-based Road Transport Act violation detection system across 25 intersections, Reuters and the Daily Star report. The system flags red light violations, lane violations, and illegal parking, with 200 to 300 automatic cases recorded in early days. In a city averaging 4.8 kilometers per hour in traffic speed, even incremental compliance gains could be significant. Zalando detailed its machine learning platform architecture on its engineering blog. The stack includes Data Lab, a Jupyter Hub-based experimentation environment, Databricks for Apache Spark workloads, Amazon SageMaker for production inference, and Databricks Unity Catalog for governance. For ML engineers, it's a pragmatic multi-vendor blueprint. And finally, RTE reports that Meta identified around 350 of its 1,800 Irish employees as potentially impacted in a global round of approximately 8,000 job cuts. CEO Mark Zuckerberg previously said 2026 would be the year AI begins to dramatically change how Meta works. The transition appears to involve both redundancies and transfers to AI focused initiatives. And that's your AI briefing for today. The landscape is moving faster than ever, and we'll be here to track it with you. For more insights, visit us at letsdatascience.com. Thanks for tuning in, stay curious, and we'll be back tomorrow with the latest in AI.